And good evening. Welcome back to the Highliner Activity Center. We've got junior varsity volleyball coming up here in just a few minutes. Valley City and Wahpeton in volleyball here tonight. Earlier this afternoon on the C squad and freshmen. The freshmen winning 25-15, 25-20. In that freshman match, they got the last 7 points in that second set. We're down 18-20. Brooklyn Boat stepped to the service line, served 6 straight points, and they won 25-20. And they won the first set 25-15. C squad, they won this tonight as well, 25-16 and 25-18. Now, the junior varsity, they lost to Devils Lake the other night, 2-1 in their match. And again, if you remember now, rules from a couple of years ago, regardless of what happens in set 1 and set 2, there will be a set 3. I thought they had that rule for both the C squad and freshmen as well. But they don't, because they, of course, when you have the splits courts like this, they have to tear down and get ready for the junior varsity. But junior varsity, regardless of the score after the first 2 sets, they will play 3 sets here tonight. And then the varsity, around 7:15, 7:30, the varsity will start here, Valley City and Wahpeton. Taking a look at for the Highliners, their junior varsity roster. Bryn Leak, of course, she's a dual sport athlete as well as running in cross country. Did not run in the meet last week, but she will run the one tomorrow. Morgan Larson, Dakota Potratz, Cameron Berg, Rylan Johnson, Samara Malcolm, Nora Peterson, Georgia Zahn, she's the libero. Kaylee Nielsen, Lauren Larson, and Katie Birchall. Those are freshmen and sophomore, with Bryn Leak being an 8th grader on the junior varsity team for Valley City. And on the other side for Wahpeton and the coaching staff, Dominique Rickles is the head coach. Mackenzie Broadland, Tiffany Bacher, and Cassandra Torrance are the assistant coaches. And their junior varsity, they are made up of mostly juniors with 3 freshmen and a couple of sophomores tossed in there. Britta Pausch, Abelie Waxweiler, Sienna Fobb, Kinsey Miller, Kylie Hansey, Myra Marinowski, Giada Rossi, and she is an exchange student from Italy. Abby Wyko, Maddie Learkamp, and Marina Hermosillo. And also coming up from the C squad and playing Skylie Pulskamp, the freshman, also dressing here in junior varsity. Let's look at our lineups, our rosters, as we get ready for the junior varsity matchup here. And our officials, as it looks like Kirk Olson is going to be the down official here in this one for the junior varsity match. Highliners in their dark blues. Georgia Zahn, the libero, wearing the red jersey. And the Huskies will be in their white jerseys with the purple numerals and lettering trimmed in gold. And again, fifth year head coach, Rebecca Erickson, starting her 5th year as the head coach here for the Highliners, or 4th year actually. And also assisted by Vanessa Coca, Cameron Suey, the assistant coaches for Valley City. So we are set for JV volleyball here tonight from the Hack. The Highliner JVers 0-1. Again, lost 2-1 in their match with Devils Lake here on Tuesday night. Of course, that was won by the varsity 3-1. Varsity, who had 7 wins last year already, with 4 this year. They came off a 3-4 weekend when they were in Bismarck for the East-West crossover. And last night on Coach's Corner, talk with Coach Rebecca Erickson, said that's the best volleyball they have played when they've been out at that crossover in her 4 years as head coach. Here we go. We're set for volleyball tonight. This is our, I guess you could say, our 3rd match out of our 4 this evening. Again, earlier C squad and 9th grade, both swept by Valley City. And looks like Wahpeton's going to get the ball to serve first. As you look at the court, they are going from left to right here on the Highliner Activity Network. And again, if you are watching, welcome aboard. And let all of your friends and family that love Highliner activities, how they can watch us. Just go to YouTube and just search Highliner Activities or Highliner Activity Network, and we'll have their archived events from last year, and you can watch live events and archived events throughout this upcoming 2023-2024 school year. Britta Powers, the libero, she'll step in, and she goes back row, and we are about ready to get things underway here. Is Kinsey Miller will serve it up. We're underway. Junior varsity volleyball from the Hack zone. Pass, person here near side. And then dumped over Valley City. That was Birchall. Now back to the Wahpeton Huskies. The left-hander attack is long and wide by Sienna Fobb. It'll be a point for the Highlanders. 1-0. Valley City off to the early lead. Zahn will go back and she will serve. Oh, no, check that. I thought she was going to serve, but she just went to retrieve the ball. Cameron Berg, the sophomore, will serve. Berg serving from right to left. Serve on the way. Pausch with the pass. Set. And dumped over him by Hansey. Here's Zahn. Set middle. Leak. And over on, well, it's going to be a net violation called there on Wahpeton. That'll be a point for Valley City. Burchell did get the kill, but they're going to call net violation on the Huskies. And it is a 2-0 Highliner advantage here in the opening set. Cameron Berg back to serve. Again, Highliners freshman, sophomore, 1/8 grader on this junior varsity. Mostly juniors for Wahpeton. Here to the near side, over by Fopp. Zahn, pass to Leak. Bryn set, near side, attacking Morgan Larson. On the dig, Hansey. And is set by Miller. Dumped over by Pausch. Now Zahn, back to Leak. She'll back set it. Potratz on the attack, and Dakota Potratz, the lefty with the kill. Dakota Potratz coming up with the kill for Valley City, and the Highliners with a 3-0 advantage early on here in set one. Gammenberg back to serve. And the right-hander sends it on its way into the net. First service error, side out. Point to the Huskies, 1-3, Valley City. Cambry Mock will go back and serve for the Huskies. Serving from left to right. Serving 1-3 in the opening set. There's a serve by Cambry. No. Into the net. Didn't get over. Point Valley City. 4-1 Highliners. That'll send Georgia Zahn back to the service line. Kaylee Nielsen will check in for Burchell. She's in the front row. Zahn back to serve. Serving 4-1 in the opening set. There's a serve. Just got it over. Receive wide and out. Off the receive error. That was Cambry Malk on the receive error. Off the ace, Point Valley City. 5-1 Highliners. Here comes Zahn with the serve. Just got it over again. The receive error goes wide there. That is back-to-back receive errors for Wahpeton with Cambry Malk. Zahn, 6-1 lead. Serves it up. Off the pass, Hansey. Set middle. And the attack into the net by Fobb. Point Valley City. A good set there by Miller, but Fobb hitting into the net. 6-1. Highliners by 5. With Georgia Zahn serving. Serve up into the net. Second service error for the Highliners. That'll be a point for the Huskies. 2-6. Huskies trailing by 4. And with the ball back to serve, it'll be Skyly Pulskamp. Pulskamp, the freshman, up in the C squad. The only C squatter that does play junior varsity as well. And Pulskamp with the serve on the way. Here's the receive. Zahn. Pass, Leak, back setting it. Potratz attack blocked at the net. Pulskamp back up middle. Ooh, a little confusion there as Hermosillo, along with Fobb, couldn't decide who was going to take care of the pass. And it drops in for a point for Valley City. 7-2 Highliners. That'll send Dakota Potratz, the sophomore, back serving. The lefty serving 7-2 in the opening set. And the lefty with the mini jump serve on the way over. Miller set middle on the attack. Hermosillo. Potratz with the dig. There's the attack good by Johnson. But it was dug out and then tipped over and dropped in for the point by Kinsey Miller. You get a setter that can set it up. Look like she's going to set the ball and then does the fingertip tip over, drop it in for a point. That's a very, very great offensive move. So 3-7. Wahpeton trailing by 4. And Fobb with the serve. Here's Potratz to the net. Just getting that one over was Johnson. Now back over to the Huskies. Potratz off the set. Johnson off the attack. Dug out by Malk. Now attacking there for the Huskies. Hansey into the net. Point Valley City. 8-3. Highlanders by 5. That'll Lauren Larson, the sophomore, in for the Highliners. She'll go front row. Berg will sit down. And back to serve. Morgan Larson, the freshman. Taking a quick check of the lineup. Kirk Olson, the down official, the R1, or the R2, down on the floor. They get the substitution. Abby Weichel will go back row here for the Huskies. 8-3 Valley City. And they serve on the way by Larson. Set, far side. Over, free ball, Hermosillo. Zahn set Potratz on the attack. Larson and the kill. Lauren Larson picks up the kill off the Dakota Potratz set. Point Valley City 9-3. Highliners by half dozen. And that is their biggest lead of the evening, equaling their biggest lead. And the serve on the way by Larson. Here's a free ball again to the net. Nope, actually went into the net. At the libero, Britta Pausch received, went into the net. Point Valley City 10-3 Highliners. And Sid Larson, I think, one of the line officials. Sam Hatcher graduated last year, then a line official for Valley City. Here's Pausch again on the receive. Pass to Miller. Sets it middle, over by Hermosillo. Now Potratz to Zahn. Zahn passing up ahead. Larson on the, that was Johnson on the attack. Now Miller, back sent over. Back to Potratz for the Highlanders. Setting it up. Lauren Larson on the attack. One-arm dig off that back row by Mauk. Kept alive. Hermosillo gets it over. Here's Potratz for the Highlanders to Zahn. Zahn near side. Larson dropping it over. Nice save. And dropping it in for the point. Off the save by Weichel. And it fell right by that 10-foot line and pops in for the point. Point Huskies 4-10, down by half dozen. And they'll pick up the serve with Kylie Hansey, one of the juniors, on the way. Serve. Zahn receives to the net. Back set. Left-handed attack and a block. That was Hermosillo on the attack. The freshman blocking Rylan Johnson. Point for the Huskies. First time they've gotten two in a row. 5-10, trailing by 5. And the serve by Hansey. There's Zahn. Pass up front. And that's going to be a violation by Potratz. The pass was a little too wide. Potratz went up into the net as she was trying to set it. So that'll be a point for Wahpeton. 3 in a row. 6-10, down by 4. Hansey, junior outside hitter with the serve. Zahn receives. This time good pass. Potratz setting it up. Off the attack there by Nielsen. Now back the other side. Free ball for the Highliners. Potratz set middle. On the attack Nielsen. Miller with the dig. Gets it over to Mauk. In the middle, dumped over Hermosillo. And a couple of nice pancakes and then dumping it over Larson. Good job defensively there by Valley City. On the attack near side. And we've got a whistle now. Net violation there called on the Huskies on Cambry Mauk. That'll be a point for Valley City. 11-6, Highlanders up by 5. That'll bring Katie Burchell back in. She goes front row. And serving, Nielsen will serve. Kaylee Nielsen for Valley City. Dropping it over for the ace. Kaylee Nielsen picking up the ace for the Highliners. 12-6. Valley City by half dozen. Valley City, now 13-6. A little distracted there, a little commotion going on, so I got distracted. I apologize. Nielsen with the serve. Pausch pass. Miller set middle. Tipped over by Hermosillo. Back to the net. That's going to get a point. It was blocked there by Burchell, but no one there to help with the save. And it'll be a point for the Huskies. 7-13. The Huskies by trailing by 6. And now back serving in Marina Hermosillo, the freshman. One of 4 freshmen on this JV roster for the Huskies. Here's Johnson on the attack. Hermosillo with the dig. Miller set middle. Off the tip and the kill. That will be Skyly Pulskamp with the kill. 13-8. Huskies trailing by 5. Marina Hermosillo back serving. Serving 8-13 per set. Zahn receives. Pass. Potratz tipping it over. Dropping it in for the point. Dakota Potratz with the kill. 14-8 Highlanders up by half dozen. Now bring Leak in, and she will go back and serve. The 8th grader. Leak with the serve here for the Highlanders. A jump serve on the way far side. Miller set. Mauk attack. Blocked at the net. Through the block gets the kill. Potratz and Burchell over there couldn't get the clean block. Point for the Huskies. 9-15. Trailing by 5. We'll send Kinsey Miller, the junior center, back to serve for Wahpeton. Here's Zahn, can't receive. That's an ace. Miller on the ace for Wahpeton. 14-10, Huskies by 4. And we'll get a sub here coming in for Wahpeton. Sienna Fobb will check in. She'll be in the front row. And Miller with the serve. Back row Zahn, pass. Leak. She'll back set it. Larson on the attack and long. On the attack by Lauren Larson. Point Huskies, 3 in a row, back within 3, 11-14. Wahpeton serving. with Kinsey Miller. Serving 11-14 here in the first set. Serve up and over. Larson lets it go. Wise decision. It was wide and out. Point. Valley City, 15-11. Highliners by 4. That'll bring Cameron Berg back into the lineup. She'll go back and serve for the Highliners. And Berg, serve on the way. Pausch receives. Miller, bump set. And, oh boy, again, little confusion on who was going to attack. Hansey and Fobb collide as they're both going for it. So the point for Valley City makes it 16-11. Berg serving. Up and over. Pausch on the receive. Pushed over by Miller. Leak. Pass on. It's on near side. On the attack, Larson. Well, we got a net violation on on Wahpeton again. And that one is that's going to go against Sienna Fobb. So another point for the Highlighters. They're up 17-11. Berg with the serve. Pausch can't receive. That's an ace. Cameron Berg with the ace there. 18-11. Highliners up by 7. We're in the opening set. Junior Varsity Volleyball here from the Hack on the Highliner Activity Network. Berg serves on the way. Pausch. Miller set far side. On the attack. Nice attack by Hansey. Zahn with the dig. And her pass goes into the net. No save there by Burchell. Point Wahpeton. 12-18. Down by 6. And serving is Mauk again. Set Brindley. Tipped by Potratz. Pass Hansey. Miller. Here the near side. Dropping it over and getting the point. Sienna Fobb off the kill. 18-13. 5-point advantage for Valley City. Cambry Mauk back serving, but not before her teammate Sienna Fobb can tie her shoes. There we go. Now we're set to go. Mauk with the serve, serving 13-18 first set. Zahn receives, pass to Leak. Here near side, Larson. Morgan Larson into the net. Attack error, point Huskies. 14-18. It is a 4-point advantage for the Highliners. Huskies serving with 3 points in a row here. Cambry Mauk with the serve on the way. Zahn, pass, Leak. Set backside. Potratz over the blockers. One hand tip. Potratz right back over. And then Pausch couldn't come up with the dig on that far side. That'll be a point for Valley City, stopping the 3-point run, 19-14. It's a 5-point lead for the Highliners. Georgia Zahn back to serve. And the serve up and over. Miller, bump set. That's going to go over the net. Kept alive, Larson. Nielsen, back to Larson. Morgan gets it over. Here's the Miller. Setting it up. Attack. Hansey into the net. Point, Valley City. 20-14. Highliners lead is at 6. Now back serving is Georgia Zahn. And we've got a timeout taken by the Huskies. 20-14, Valley City leading by 6 first set. Junior Varsity Volleyball. We'll be back with more. This is Highliner Volleyball on the Highliner Activity Network, live on YouTube. Paul McDonald back with you here at the Highliner Activity Center. We are in the midst of the Junior Varsity Volleyball match. Valley City and Wahpeton. Highlanders up 20-14 per set. On the attack, Hansey. That's going to go long. Point Valley City. 21-14. Highlanders lead by 7. With Georgia Zahn back serving. On the way with the serve at the net, Miller. Miller, wanted to tip it over. Hit it in the top of the net. Point Valley City, 22-14. And Georgia Zahn back serving for the Highliners. just got it over the net, and that's going to be an ace. That one went off of Paulskamp and went back to the back row. That'll be a point for the Highlanders, 23-14. Valley City with 5 and a 4 in a row here. And the serve on the way. That could be 5 in a row. Miller set middle. On the attack, Fobb. Nice dig there by Berg. Kept alive by Leak. Over by Morgan Larson. Back to the Huskies on offense. Set far side. Attacking. Hansey. Kept alive. Here's Potratz on the attack and the kill. Kept alive by Nielsen. And Dakota Potratz gets the kill. Point Valley City, 24-14. Set point here in set number 1. Highlanders leading by 10. And the serve, near side, Miller. Set, Bob on the attack. That's going to go long. No tip. Point Valley City, 25-14. Highlanders here in the JV match taking the first set. 25-14. We'll step aside. Set number 2 coming up. This is Highlander Volleyball from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Paul McDonald back with you here at the Highlander Activity Center. We are in junior varsity volleyball between Valley City and Wahpeton. Highlanders took the first set, 25-14. C Squad, they swept here tonight, 25-16, 25-18. Freshmen swept, 25-15, 25-20. And now off to the junior varsity leading 25-14 here on the Highlander Activity Network. Full crew tonight for our varsity matchup. Jaden Johnson gotten it started here. Our technical director, cameraman, Brian Krewald, Derek Baer, Ray Nelson joining us this year for the Highlanders. A great crew for the Highlander Activity Network. Season 3 here for the Highlander Activity Network. Our second year with our events live on YouTube. Starting lineups here for the second set. Checked over by the R2, Kirk Olson. And then we're going to get ready for set number 2 here, Valley City. Taking set 1, 25-14. Highlander football tomorrow night as the Highlanders open up the season, or their home opener tomorrow night against Watford City. That will be a kickoff at 7 o'clock. Coverage around 6:50 tomorrow night here on the Highlander Activity Network. Bryn Leak with the serve, and she's going to start it off. Receive back over to Bryn. She gets it to Zahn. Zahn, Dakota Potratz to the far corner. Pausch on the receive. Here comes Wahpeton. Miller gets it over. Free ball, Valley City. Zahn. Leak, set, near side. Attack Lauren Larson, and the kill. That one went off the fingertips of Hansey. That'll be a point for Valley City. Highlanders up 1-0. Bryn Leak back to serve for the Highlanders. The right-hander, the 8th grader, serves it up on the way. Here near side, Miller. Set Miller into the middle. Paulskamp gets it over. Zahn. Back far corner, kept alive by Larson, then over by Burchell. There's the Huskies at the net, tip there at the net. I think that was Lauren Larson, it was. She beat Miller to the net, got the tip for the point. Highlanders up 2-0. Bryn Leak back to serve. Serving 2-0 here in set number 2 for Valley City. Pouch, the libero, to the middle. Polskamp into the net. Point Valley City, 3-0 Highlanders. Off to a good start here in set 2. And Leak, jump serve on the way. Pass back here, late for the Highlanders. Set Lauren Larson. Larson on the attack. That's going to go long. Point Huskies. 1-3, Valley City leading by 2 here in set number 2. And now back serving for Wahpeton. Kinsey Miller, the setter. Serving 1-3 here in the second set. Zahn pass to the net. Saved off by Leak and got it over in the point. It went into the net, and then Bryn Leak did a nice job, kind of backed up and then saved it out of the net. But it went up and over, and Wahpeton couldn't handle that. It was dropped over for the point. So just trying to keep it alive and got a point out of it. 4-1 Valley City. Cam Berg now back to serve. Berg serving 4-1 into the net. Service error Valley City. 2-4. Highlanders down by up by 2. Cambry Mock goes back to serve for Wahpeton. And the right-hander serve on the way. At the net, back set, Potretz blocked at the net. Kept alive, Leak. Here's Zahn. She'll bump near side. Larson tipping it over to Valley City and off the hands of Miller and drops in for the point. Highlanders now 5-2. And George is on the libero back to serve. Burchell out, Nielsen in for Valley City. George is on with the serve. And it's an ace. Now goes off the fingertips of Hansey. 6-2 Valley City. We're in set number 2. They won the first set 25-14. George is on with the serve. And the receive, kept alive Miller. And then Hansey hits it over. Here's Leak. Potretz attack. And didn't bring the arm down on the follow through, and it sails long. 6-3, Valley City leading by 3. Wahpeton with the point, now back to serve. Skydie Polskamp. Polskamp serving, the right-hander with a little mini jump serve. Zahn, pass. Set Leak, middle. Nielsen blocked at the net. That's going to be a lift there. Illegal contact, if you will, on Sienna Fobb. So the point, 7-3 Valley City. I'll bring back Dakota Potratz to the back row. Rylan Johnson checks in front row for Valley City. And Potratz serving 7-3 here in the second set. The lefty sends it over. That's going to be an ace. That one goes off the arm of Cambry. Mount. That'll be a point Valley City. 8-3. Highlanders by 5. The biggest lead has been 6 here in this set. And the serve by the lefty on the way. As near side, Hermosillo over by Miller. Potratz back setting it. Rylan Johnson on the attack. That goes long. Side out. Point Wahpeton. 4-8. Huskies by 4. Trailing by 4. And Sienna Fobb, the lefty, will serve into the net. Service there, side out. Point Valley City, 9-4 Highlanders. And back to serve, Morgan Larson. Larson, as they await a substitution here, as Lauren Larson will check in. Berg will sit down. And the serve by the right-hander on the way. Up and over. Pass. Miller set. Middle. Hermosillo on the attack and the kill. Marina Hermosillo with the kill. 9-5. Highlanders lead is at 4. Now with the ball. Back serving is Kylie Hansey for Wahpeton. Sends it over. Potratz can't get to it. Did barely. Morgan Larson got it over. Free ball here for the Huskies. On the far side, Mauk on the attack, and just long. Line judge Sam Hatcher saying out on the attack there by Cambry Mock. Point for Valley City. 10-5 Highlanders. Katie Birchall comes into the front row. Kylie Nielsen back to serve. Nielsen into the net. Service error. 6-10 Valley City leading by 4. And now going back to serve, Marina Hermosillo. Hermosillo serving 6-10 second set. Zahn receives, pass to Potratz, setting it up, and Johnson try to take a little something off her attack and hit it into the net. Attack here. That'll be a point for the Huskies. 7-10. Huskies down by 3. Hermosillo with the jump serve. Zahn receives, pass, Potratz setting it, and Birchall on the attack off Hermosillo. Then kept alive by Rossi and over by Mount. Zahn tipped over Potratz. Rossi up front, Miller. Now back to the Highliners. Potratz to Zahn. She'll bump set it. Johnson on the attack. Off the save, Hansey. Miller back to Hansey on the attack, and good. The kill there by Hansey. Point for the Huskies. That's 3 in a row. And the Huskies trail by 2 at 8-10. Marina Hermosillo, the freshman, back serving. Serving left to right. And the serve on the way. Off of Birchall. Zahn keeps it alive and then over by Potratz. Here's Miller tipping it right there. Larson, Potratz, Lauren Larson attacking and out. Point for the Huskies. 4 in a row here for Wahpeton. And they got that lead down to 1, 9-10. Here's the serve by Hermosillo. Pass far side. Over by Potratz and right at the net. Mauk wide on her attack. Cambry Mauk met the ball at the net and her attack went wide. Point Valley City. 11-9. Brings Bring Leak into the service to serve for the Highliners. Serving 11-9 here in set number 2. Highlanders won 25-14 in the first set. Mauk, free ball to the net. Tipped over right there with Birchall. They got to get over here, and Rossi cannot. Onto the net. Point Valley City. 12-9. Highlanders lead back up to 3. And to serve is Bryn Leak. At the net. Mauk back to Pouch, gets it over the net. There's Larson pass. Leak. Back set. Potratz on the attack. Through the block. Gets the kill. Potratz with the kill. And the point for Valley City. That is 3 in a row. They go back up 4. 13-9. Bryn Leak back to serve. Leak serve on the way. Pouch pass. Set Miller. Middle. On the attack. Polskamp is on there for the dig. Leak setting it near side. Larson attacking and long. No touch. No touch. Point. Wahpeton, 10-13. Back to within 3. That was in Kinsey Miller. Back to serve. 10-13 for Wahpeton. The right-hander waiting as a substitution. Fobb comes in and is in front row. Here's the serve. Fobb over by Miller. Leak near side. Potratz to the far corner. Mauk to Hansey. Miller setting it. Mauk on the attack. There's Zahn on the dig. And we're going to have a net violation on the Highliners. Point Huskies within 2. 11-13. Down by 2. Kinsey Miller with the serve on the way. Here's Zahn pass. Leak setting it near side. Left-hand attack. Potratz. And was it tipped? It was not. Point for the Huskies, down by 1 again, 12-13. Second time they've gotten to within 1. And the serve by Miller. Ooh, I think she knows it too. I think Nora Peterson was going to let that one go. Would have been long, but she tried to receive. And went off the arm and out. We've got a timeout, Valley City. 13-13. We are tied. It is 5 points in a row here for the Huskies, and they have tied things up. We're back with more high school volleyball from the HEC on the Highlander Activity Network. Paul McDonald back with you here at the Hack. We are in the midst of our junior varsity action. Volleyball here tonight. Home opener for the Highliners. Wahpeton Huskies are in town. Highliners have won the first two. They won the C squad and the 9th grade matches. They won the first set here in the JV, 25-14. We're tied 13-13 here in set two. Kinsey Miller with the serve for the Huskies. Here's Leak setting it near side. Potretz with the cross-court tick. Miller setting it up again. Malk on the attack. Blocked at the net. Into the net by Fobb. They save it by Polskamp, and Miller gets it over. Now Leak for the Highlanders. Back set. Potretz on the attack and the kill. Off the Bryn Leak assist. Potretz with the kill. And the Highlanders go back up by 1, 14-13. That'll bring Cam Berg in. Cameron will go back row and will serve. Peterson will sit down for Valley City. And Cameron Berg with the serve. On the way, Pouch received. Miller setting it far side. Attack Hansey. Here's Berg on the pass. Gets it to Leak. Leak setting it up. Near side, Morgan Larson cross court. And the wide out point Huskies. Tied 14-14. Back row to serve. Cambry Mock serving here for Wahpeton. 14-14. On receive Zahn. Leak. Potretz through the block. Well, they're going to call. What are they going to call? Lift. Yep, they're going to call lift there on Wahpeton, Point Valley City. And they maintain the lead, 15-14. Wahpeton has not led in this set. Matter of fact, they have not led in this match. 15-14. Zahn serve on the way. There's Malk to Miller. Miller set middle. Bob on the attack with the left hand. There's Berg with a dig. Larson dipped over to Leak. Now Fobb, middle, far side. Action Hansey on the attack. Dipped at the net. Berg, Leak setting it up. Here's Morgan Larson on the attack and the kill. Morgan Larson picking up the kill there for the Highliners off the Leak assist. 16-14, Valley City by 2. And the serving, George is on here in the second set. From right to left, Pouch to Miller. Miller will get it over the net. Free ball's on, pass. Bump set, Leak, Miller, Larson gets it over. Now back to the Huskies, Miller setting it far side, Hansey attacking. Yeah, and it went off of Zahn, swing and a miss. That'll be a point for the Huskies. 15-16, Huskies down by 1. Marina Hermosillo will check into the lineup. Back to serve will be Skyly Polskamp. Skyly serving, 15-16, second set for the Huskies on the way. Berg pass, set, Leak, backside, Potretz over on the attack, and everybody let it go, and it's out. Point to the Huskies. We're back tied, 16-16. Since Skyly Polskamp again serving 16 all here in the second set. Flops it over, pass to Leak. Leak setting it in the middle. Nielsen on the attack. Goes off Miller. Got the live Polskamp, and then Fobb goes the wrong direction. That's a point for Valley City. They maintain the lead, 17-16. Highliners by 1. Back to the back row, Dakota Potretz will serve here for Valley City. And the lefty serving 17-16 on the way over. Pass. There's Hermosillo. And Malk gets it over. Back to the Highliners. Potretz setting it up. On the attack, Nielsen blocked at the net. Now back to Johnson. Nelson gets it over. Miller for the Huskies to the middle. Hermosillo on the attack. Nice dig. Potretz set. Morgan Larson over by Nielsen. Now Huskies back on the attack. Miller dropping it over. Right there with Berg. Potretz back setting it. Raylan Johnson on the attack, and Ryland gets the kill. Ryland Johnson with the kill, the lefty for Valley City. They go back up by 2, 18-16. Again, regardless of what happens here, we will have a third set here in the JV match. Scheduled start time for the varsity around 7:15. Serve here by Dakota Potretz on the way. Malk. Miller in the middle. Who wants it? Malk into the net. She was going to push it over. Right there to try to bump it over was Hermosillo. And it went into the net by Malk. Point Valley City, 19-16. Up to a 3-point lead for the Highliners. Here's Dakota Potretz. Serve on the way. And an ace. That one went off of Malk. Trying to convince the line judge no it didn't, but it is 20-16. The lead is at 4 for Valley City. Dakota Potretz serving. Timeout, Huskies. 20-16, Valley City up by 4. We're back with more high school volleyball from the Hack on the Highline Activity Network. 20-16, Valley City leading. We are in set number 2. They won the first set 25-14. We've been tied on several occasions here recently, but the Highlanders have never been behind in this match. Served by Potratz. Hansey to Miller, and Mount just got it over, and it's going to get the point out of it. Cambry Mount got it over. One-hand dig attempt there by Zahn on the backside, going towards the bench. Went off her arm, and that'll be point for the Huskies, 17-20. They're trailing by 3. Sienna Fobb back to serve. Serving 17-20 second set. Fobb sends it over. Zahn receive, pass to Potratz, setting it up. Johnson on the attack with the left hand. She's going to get the kill after one off of 3 Huskies, and none of them hit it horizontally. All went vertically, or none of them hit it vertically. All went horizontally, straight across. 21-17. Lauren Larson now will check in. She'll go front row. And Giada Rossi, exchange student from Italy, comes back row here for the Huskies. 21-17. It's a 4-point lead here for the Highlanders. Serve on the way by Larson. Miller set, far side. Off the attack, Hansey dropping it in. Oh, hey, if she kicked it with her foot, does that count? she actually missed it. It went to her foot, and she kicked it over with her foot, and it actually went over, but it hit the four-post. That would have been cool. 18-20, 21-18, or 18-21. Here's the serve by the Huskies, and hitting the top of the net, dropping it in for the ace. Kylie Hansey, back-to-back aces. 19-21. The lead is at 2 for Valley City. And Hansey with the serve on the way. This time Zahn receives to Potratz. Larson into the net. Point Huskies, 20-21. Huskies down by 1. They have been tied on several occasions. Most recently at 16 all. Serve on the way. There's Larson pass. Potratz back set. On the attack, Nielsen. Rossi to Miller. Miller into the middle. Hermosillo. Hermosillo gets it over. Zahn for the Highlanders. Potratz set near side. Larson blocked at the net. There's Potratz set by Larson on the attack. Well, Johnson, it was Morgan Larson on the set as temp. And Rylan Johnson hit it into the net. And we are tied again, 21-21. Hansey serving for the Huskies. Zahn. Larson. Morgan to Lauren. Lauren gets the kill. Morgan dropped it in front of the front row, or in front of the back row, and dropped it in for the point. And the Highlanders still have yet to be behind. 22-21. Valley City back to a 1-point lead here in set number 2. On the first set, 25-14. Kylie Nielsen with the serve. To the net, Miller. Set middle. Hermosillo on the attack. Tipped at the net. Marson, far side, Potratz. Setting it, far side, Johnson on the attack. Pouts with the dig. Miller sets it. Cambry Mount tried to go down the line. Wide on her attempt. Point Valley City. 23-21. Highlanders lead by 2. Kaylee Nielsen back serving. And Nielsen serves on the way. Rossi, Miller, set middle. Hermosillo on the attack. That goes off of Nielsen. Kept alive by Larson, but then off the back wall, point for Wahpeton. 22-23. Wahpeton back within 1. Scotty Polskamp will check in. She's in the front row. Marina Hermosillo back to serve for Wahpeton. Serving 22-23. Serve on the way, and an ace. Hermosillo picks up an ace. So we are tied again, 23-23. Valley City, timeout. 23-23, tied here in the second set. Highlanders up 1-0. We're back with more high school volleyball from the Hack on the Highliner Activity Network. As we come out of the timeout, we are tied 23-23. Wahpeton has yet to lead in this set or in this match, and they still haven't. Serve for Hermosillo goes long. That'll be a point for Valley City, 24-23. Set point here for the Highliners. the Highliners on set point number 1. It'll be Bryn Leak on the serve. On the way, Rosie to Miller. Our side, Mount. Tipped at the net. Ooh, Zahn. Larson, Potretz on the attack. Blocked at the net. And they're going to call a net violation. Nope, they're going to call not blocked. 4 hits on Valley City. So, 24-24. We're going to play bonus ball here in set 2. Extra points. Kinsey Miller back serving for Wahpeton. Serving 24-24 second set. Zahn, pass. Leak, tipping it over. Miller, pass. Bob, nope, her set way wide. She was aimed at Mauk on the far side, the outside. Misfired. So set point number 2 for Valley City. 25-24. Cameron Berg back to serve for the Highliners. And Berg hit the top of the net and into the face of Mauk and gets the kill. And the ace, 26-24, Valley City. They will take the second set. Oh, they are going to only go 2. I thought they had to play 3, but they are handshaking it here. So I was talking with Athletic Director Rob Hunt. He said they will play 3 regardless. But they decided, nope, we're only going to play 2. So 26-24, Highliners sweep. The Highliners have won all 6 sets so far tonight. They've won 2-0 in their first set, and then the C squad won 25-16, 25-18. Ninth graders won 25-15, 25-20, and the JV just won 25-14, 26-24. So we have got the varsity match coming up here in, well, it's supposed to be a little after 7 o'clock as they have the 25-minute clock set. And we'll let you know here when that goes. Of course, we'll be shutting down the stream here on this one. We'll have another stream already set up, and you can click on and watch that for the varsity match. And that is scheduled to start a little after 7 o'clock here, probably 7:05, as they have yet to start the warm-up. Wahpeton's already on the floor warming up. Highliners will be joining them soon. So the Highliners, again, they are off to a 3-0 start here. C squad, freshman, and JV have all been winners so far. We've got varsity coming up next.